lesson that anybody can use. Excel is a software that helps arrange data in a nice way, and it can go a long way in arranging data and sharing it with groups of people in a way that gives meaning to information. Here, I'm going to share my screen in a minute, and what I'm going to show here is I have this Excel file. The different parts of the Excel worksheet, in this case, the column A, it's arranging columns and rows. Columns indicate the vertical arrangement. In this case, column A is all marked with this color here, and the horizontal side is called rows. Rows are here highlighted in black, in blue. I'm not forgetting my colors, but that's blue. So this is a blank sheet. There is no information. You can pretty much add any information and arrange it in rows and columns. And a good example here is this information where I have a tab called Travelers Society. And these travelers are arranged according to country, city, first and last name, expenses on airfare in US dollars. That's the cost of their airfare. It doesn't show whether it's domestic airfare or international or regional, but here is the information. The countries are Gambia, USA, Argentina, Canada, Germany, Australia, Nigeria, Ghana, Algeria, and Senegal. And these are the cities under the city column: Gunjur, New York, Buenos Aires, Toronto, Frankfurt, Sydney, Lagos, Accra, Algiers, and Fimela. The names given are Fatou Jammeh, Mariama Samate, Christopher Simmons, Pamela Crichton, Mamadou Dabo, Babukar Toure, Nyima Mensah, Mohammed Buhari, Sultan Ramdani, and Fatoumata Sarr. So under column D, each of them in dollars, the amounts are listed in dollars for how much they expend on airfare. So we can further go ahead and add a name to this column heading, which is we can call travelers. That's the name of the column. And here what we can do is add all these amounts in airfare. To quickly add them, we can add a name here called total. That will be the total amount of money spent on airfare by all these travelers. So in Excel, we can simply calculate the amount or the total amount of money spent by all the travelers. And this is called equal sum followed by open brackets. To add the numbers, what you do here is these amounts or costs are in column D. So here what we will do is column name is D, and the first amount, $22,512.25 is listed on column D, row 3. So what we are going to do there is say D3. We're going to start our addition from the first column, D3, colon, that'll be followed by a colon, and the last cell on the amount is $799.66. So that is in column D12. So here it starts at column D3 and ends in column D12. So that'll be D3 colon D12. Press enter. And that will give you the total amount of all the costs involved, which is $16,989.77. That will be the total amount involving all the amounts. The next thing we can do here is get the maximum. We can calculate the maximum, which will be max. Maximum means the maximum that'll be the most expensive among the listed cost. So here, what we will do is max price will be equal to max open bracket. Again, same procedure that we did to calculate the total. The amount started in D3 and end in D12. That is this area here. It shouldn't include 13 because that's it shouldn't include D13 because that's a different amount. So we will cancel that. It's going to be D12 colon starting at D3, not D12. D3 ends in column D12, and you press enter. As you can see, the most expensive ticket is $3,420.01. And that purchase was made by Babu Karature, who lives in Sydney, Australia. And the next information we want to find out which ticket was the lowest, and that'll be minimum. Minimum ticket will be min, and To calculate that, again, we will write the formula equal to MIN open bracket D3 colon D12. So as you can see, it selected the whole range. The data range is D3 through D12. So as you can see, all that is selected, and that will be involved in the calculation. Here you press enter, your answer will be 741. That indicates that $741.22 is the lowest amount that was spent by Nima Mensah, who lives in Lagos, Nigeria. She spent the least amount on tickets, airfare. So here, the next variable we can calculate is the average cost of the ticket, and that'll be average, AV. Average, let me capitalize it like I did with the other ones. Okay, so we go to average calculation, that'll be equal to average. As you start typing, the calculation average or the name will come up. As you can see here, you can double click it to select it. Average, open bracket, again, the range is D3 is selected, followed by a colon. If the colon is missing, the answer will not be correct. D12. So it extended the selection to D12. And press enter here. Your answer is $1,698.977. That's the average cost of the ticket. So here is the information. So average cost is $1,698.977. We can reduce the number of decimals by just Excel has a feature that you can either increase decimal point or reduce it. So to decrease it, that'll make it rounded up to the nearest tenth, and that'll be 98. Instead of 9.77, it's rounded up to 0.98. So that's that. This is the information that is needed for this calculation to get the total for all the expenses on tickets. Like a company, these people may all be working at the same company, which has a global location in all these countries. So if a company wants to spend money on each of their travels, this is what it will cost the company. You can highlight this amount for EC identification, 16,989.77. So these are also key information the company would want to know. Further, if we want to make further calculations on this, we can create another tab. Another tab will, in this case, be called countries. The countries in this column are Argentina, Senegal, Canada, Gambia, Ghana, Nigeria, Germany, Australia, Algeria, and USA. And suppose we are given this information, but we do not know their nationalities. We can find out where each of those nationalities resides, which country those names reside. Again, the names are here under column C. The names are here, column C, but on this other sheet, we do not know where they live. Their residents are in these countries, but who is where? So in order to find out about their names, I'm going to introduce something called VLOOKUP. A VLOOKUP is an Excel tool that you can use to get information from one sheet in the same workbook. So here, what we will do to get their names, we will use a VLOOKUP that begins with this, equal to VLOOKUP. It will come up as you type. You double click it, you'll put an open bracket here. So here we want to associate countries with names. So column A has the information. We need to get information column B. So here what we'll do is equal to VLOOKUP A2, followed by comma, and we'll go to this. It already put it is followed by the name of the tab called Traveler Society. Traveler Society is the name, and the column range, as you can see, VLOOKUP is looking for value, table array, column index, and number range. In this case, the value is already there, which is A2. Traveler Society is the table array, and that is open and close quotes, followed by exclamation. So after the exclamation, what we going to do here, the information we're going to need is we're going to start from here, which is A3 to A12. Move this to the right, and we will stop at column name, column array, column index. Index will stop at the last name here, all right? And that is followed by comma. If you look at this, after the comma, there needs to be a column index. And that could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, depending on how the data is arranged. Column A is regarded as 1, column B is regarded as 2, column C is 3. So just like English alphabets, A to 20, A to Z or Z is 26 alphabets. So here A is 1, B is 2, C is 3. So here is 1, 2, 3. So we need the information on column C, which is number 3, comma, there is going to be, the answer is going to be a true or false. An exact match will be false, and true will be an approximation. In this case, we need an exact match. If it doesn't match what is in column C, then the answer is going to be true, but we need it false for exact match. So 3, comma, false. False. After you enter false, you press enter. There is an error in the formula you entered, okay? So here it's the reason for that formula. Formula is wrong, is, let's go back here. A3 equal to VLOOKUP A2, Traveler Society. The reason for that is because it copied Traveler Society 2 times instead of 1. So it doesn't need to be there 2 times. This one needs to be deleted. So backspace that. A, it can be uppercase A or lowercase a. So that is A3 to C12, 3, and that is the correct information here. So A, B, C. This is regarded as 1, 2, 3. So we need the information on column C, and those are the names. When you come here, the first one we got is, that is the formula, VLOOKUP A2, which is under the previous one, that is A2, sorry, A3 is Gambia here. We start with our count on A3 because A2 cannot be used. That is the name of a country. That is identifier. Identifier in this case is pointing to the names of countries. So here, A3 is Gambia. So here, Christopher Simmons for Argentina. He lives in Buenos Aires, Argentina. So as you can see here, that's what is indicated, and that's the form. So instead of typing each of these formulas to get the rest of the answers, we can, Excel has a feature or the tool, when you point to the first one, this changes to a plus sign. You can select it and drag it down to get the rest of the answers. So as you can see, some of them have NA. That means they do not exist. The reason for that is because we need to make this formula absolute. That is $A. We can make this $A, $3, $C, and $12. Press enter. So now let's see if we copy it down what we'll get. We get all the answers correct because sometimes Excel thinks that you can just drag it down and get the answers, but when you close these letters with a $, that makes it absolute. That means regardless of whether you change the information later, whatever you change the information to, it's going to give you that answer. So that's the lesson for today. I hope you all enjoyed this. And if you like the video, you may like it or share it, or you can subscribe. I will be doing more of this as time goes on. Thank you.